Hi everyone, today I want to talk about how to know if your fruit is ripe. Because if your fruit is not ripe, then the fruit meals are not going to be enjoyable and you're going to go back to what you previously did. Well, you can always eat starches instead, starches and vegetables, because the starch is always ready. When the rice is dry and ready for you to use anytime, same for the pasta, um, for the potato as well. It needs to be not green and not sprouted, but otherwise it's much easier to eat starches. But fruit is our species specific food, right? It's very obvious because the fruit is ready to eat for you. All you have to do is put it in your mouth, from the tree to your mouth. No transformation needed. Okay, so how do you know if apples, pineapple, pear, orange, banana, kiwi, melon, papaya, pitaya, mango, peach, nectarine, persimmon, plums, fig and apricots are ripe? All too ripe. That's really the basics, and if you are new to this lifestyle, this video is for you. But maybe you don't know everything that I know, so let's sit together and talk about how to know if the fruit is ripe. We can start with apples. Well, the apple can smell good when it's ready for you. You can see it, and when you open it, there shouldn't be any green parts in it, no matter the variety. Some of them are yellow or a little bit pink for some of them inside, or just white, but it shouldn't be green. If it's green, it's not ripe enough, it's not going to be so pleasant, so you should wait for the other apples to get ripe. Papaya. Well, if you live in a place like mine, like France, I don't know, maybe you're in USA, in the north, or in Canada, or in UK, I don't know. Well, in non-tropical places, the papayas are imported, and the problem is that they can get damaged or they're picked unripe, and it doesn't taste good then. In most cases, it smells of vomit, that's true. But if your papaya is good quality, it's been transported properly and picked late enough, then it should look yellow outside, really yellow, maybe with still some green, and you can put it at home and wait for the green to become yellow, and then when you open it, when it's fully yellow outside, maybe there's a little bit of mold that starts growing. Okay, that's the sign that you need to open it right now, and hopefully you find a tasty, juicy and sweet papaya. Now, papayas are one of my favorite, but really hard to find ripe, so you should find another fruit as a staple. Okay, back to the pineapple. Pineapple is about the same story. It's hard to find a good one. And the ripe ones are yellow, orangish outside. Otherwise, if it's green, it's underripe, always. And if it's overripe, it's going to be brown. I see a lot of brown and green pineapples in the stores, and they don't taste good. They're just so acidic, not so sweet. It's a waste, so I don't buy them in general. Except when I find a good quality one, and then it's mine. I swear it's mine. Pear. Okay, then the pear. It's about like the apples in general, but the pear, when you touch the upper tip of it near to the stem, it starts to become soft when the pear is ripe. And if you wait too much, the pear is going to be overripe. So you have to watch the top, the soft part at the top of the pear. Because an unripe pear is hard, it doesn't taste good, it's just hard and it's not sweet, so it's really important to wait to have a juicy, sweet pear. Just watch them, watch your batch and check the little tips, very important. Then the orange. Well, usually the oranges in the store are ripe, but sometimes maybe you come across oranges that are not sweet enough, they're really acidic, and it's a sign that they're not ripe. Just throw them away. It's too much acid when the orange is not ripe and it's acidic. Don't put your mouth through all these acids. It's not pleasant. Life is meant to be sweet. Okay, then the banana. Banana is a clear staple of the high-carb low-fat diet, next to the dates. So banana. The problem is that in the stores, people and staff move the bananas around and they get damaged, bruised, and then this part ferments. So you have to remove the fermented part that's alkalized. It's not good. So the best, in my opinion, is to buy the bananas at the store when they are green. Buy the biggest bananas you can find, but green, and then put them at home, hang them or put them on the side, and then they can ripen peacefully without damage. So how does a banana look like when it's ripe? Because it can ripen at your home, it takes all the time it needs, and when it's yellow, it's not ripe yet. Yellow is not ripe. And when the stem is still green, it's not ripe. When the skin makes screeching sounds when you open it, it's not ripe. Just leave it ripen more. It's worth it. When it's not ripe, it constipates you. Don't do it. Okay, a ripe banana is yellow with lots of tiny spots. A ripe banana is very spotty, and it's so sweet. It's easy to digest, it promotes bowel movement, it's perfect. Okay. Okay, yeah, but an overripe banana would it smells fermented. You'll know it. And before it ferments, it's best to freeze it so that you can make nice creamy sorbet out of bananas. Nice creams. Okay, kiwi. Well, the kiwi is not a fruit that I like very much in general. Well, the green kiwi is not great in my opinion. But if you want a ripe one that's sweeter and less acidic and more enjoyable, okay, it needs to be soft. When you touch it, you can see it's soft. It has wrinkles all around. And then it's okay, it's edible. I prefer the gold kiwi, and these are sweeter, and when they're ripe, they're really amazing, but they cost too much money here, so I don't buy them often. Okay, then the melon. So we have all the melon category, and watermelon is just a specific case. So let's just talk about cantaloupe melon or Gallia melon. I don't know what's the name, Santa Claus melon, or all these kinds of melons. These can ripen still after they've been picked, and when they're ripe, they smell really good. When you put your nose on it, it smells good. And especially for the yellow one, it's hard to pick, but try to get the ones that are the deepest yellow, and it's harder to recognize, I have to say, but when it's really ripe, it's so delicious, it's so sweet. Any melon can taste really good if it's sweet, so just be patient and learn to recognize it. Okay, then moving on to the watermelon. Well, the watermelon doesn't smell, so that's smell cue is not going to help, but you can touch it, you know if it's ripe, or you can look at it. Well, if it has a kind of whitish light yellow belly, it's not ripe, it's been picked too early. But if the belly is really yellow, then you know it's been picked when the watermelon was ripe, so that's a good sign. Well, there's plenty of signs that the watermelon is ripe, but that's the main one. And when you open it, you just know. You'll see it, you know the texture. But before you open it, before you buy it, try. Hey, hello melon. So if the watermelon is ripe, it makes a hollow sound, and if it's too ripe, then I'm sorry, it's going to make a full noise, a full sound, a watery sound, because it has started to ferment and it's watery inside. Not good. So don't get these ones, it's a waste of money. Get the perfectly ripe ones that are still fresh. Anyway, the texture of the perfectly ripe watermelon is the best. You'll know if you have picked it well. Okay, then I talked about the papaya by mistake. Now the pitaya, the dragon fruit. Well, this one, the ugly ones are just the best, and the other ones have no taste. Sometimes people tell me, I tried the pitaya, but it had no flavor. I'm so disappointed. Yeah, it costs a certain amount of money, and you want your the sweetness, huh? So how to pick a sweet pitaya? First, yeah, it looks ugly, which means you know the pitaya fruit, it has some kind of leaves, you know, leaves. They're very pretty. But if these leaves are green, it's not ripe. If these leaves are yellow and wilted, then you need to buy it because it's ripe and it's going to be sweet. and inside it's either white or purple. It depends on the variety. Okay, mango. The mango, if you buy the cheap ones, if you live in a non-tropical place, the cheap ones tend to be very crappy, and some of them never ripen and they rot instead of ripening. It's quite sad, so that's why I don't buy them. Sometimes you get lucky and it ripens, and you know it's ripe when it gets soft on the outside and it smells good, and the stem leaks a bit of substance, resin I think, so that's how you know. But if you get the mangoes that have arrived with by plane, the expensive ones, it's like 4 times more expensive here. Well, these ones, they are extremely tasty, and they can be a bit wrinkly and soft, and you just know it smells so good. The fruit says, "Eat me." I say, "Yes, I want to, but you cost too much money." That's it. Then the peach and nectarine. Well, for this kind of fruit, they do ripen normally, unless it's picked way too early. It can happen. So what I do is I buy a batch of nectarines or peaches that look like they're going to ripen because they've been picked in a stage that's advanced enough. And when I think they get ripe, I try one, and then I know that the others should be at the same stage of ripeness. So a ripe nectarine or peach smells good. It's soft and it's sweet when you try it. Okay. Now the persimmon. Okay, this one, that's important to know if you eat a lot of persimmons. Well, there are two kinds of persimmons, the flat ones and the big round ones. We're going to start with the flat ones, fuyu or these flat varieties. Well, you can eat them at any stage, there's no problem. Personally, I prefer to wait that they ripen as much as possible. This is a non-astringent variety. And as for the big ones, the astringent variety, you have to be careful, because if you eat a lot of them that are not ripe enough, you can have a problem of phytobezoar, which means that your bowel can be almost clogged or totally clogged, which is very dangerous. So in order to avoid that, you have to know something. So this big astringent persimmon has to ripen fully. It has to look translucid, no? And the skin, in that case, in fully ripened persimmon, the skin is very soft and it's okay, you can eat it. But if it's not completely soft, then you have to peel that skin. It's just safer. I peel the skin when I think that persimmon is not fully ripe, for that reason. And anyway, this hard skin is not nice to eat. I prefer the pulp, clearly. Okay, then the plums. Well, the plums can ripen, so if you buy them at the shop and you wait long enough, it should ripen. There's so many kinds of plums here where I live. There are tiny ones that are yellow, there are long ones that are dark blue and clear outside, or there are the round ones that come from South Africa or other places that are yellow or dark purple. And they're ripe when they taste good. Again, a fruit that doesn't taste good is probably not ripe. So it has to be a bit soft under your hands, and it smells good. Especially some varieties, they smell very good. Then the fig. If you buy the figs at the store, I don't think it's ripe unless you're very lucky and you got a batch that arrived quickly at the supermarket. Well, the ripe figs, they're a bit soft. If they are hard, they're clearly not ripe, and you can see that latex liquid flowing, and it's not good. So it's better if you live under a tree, a fig tree. If you have a fig tree nearby to your house, that's the best, because then you can wait that they become ripe and you pick them and you can eat them directly. But the monkeys, they eat the figs by opening them and then they eat them from the inside like that. And this way they avoid having lips that are abraded. You probably tried that, eating lots of figs and then you get so abraded on your lips. That's why, because the outside of the fig is abrasive. If you look at it closely, it's not so good. So eat them from the inside. That's my advice. And at last, the apricot. But apricot is a kind of plum, so it's about the same rules. So a ripe apricot is soft under the hands. You should be able to open it easily with your hands without using a knife. And it smells good, it's soft, it's sweet. It shouldn't even taste acidic. That's it. So now you know why your fruit meal is not so satisfying. Maybe it's too acidic, maybe it's just not sweet, or it's just unripe, or it's too ripe. And there are many other fruits, but these are the main ones. And if you check my latest ebook, there's a whole section about ripeness of fruit, how to recognize the main ones with advice and pictures, and there's many more topics in that ebook. And if you don't want to do fruit because it's unpractical for some reason, that's fine. The starches and vegetables are there. It's a great backup plan that you can have at every dinner, or maybe in some cases you have to eat them morning, lunch and dinner. But I said that the breakfast should be fruit always. It's much better for hydration, for having energy and not be digesting as much. It's simple. Okay. So eat your fruit ripe, and if you learned something from that video, please let me know down below.